Okay, we're gonna get into it. I'm a little bit earlier than I expected, so I just put a message in the chat for those who may come later. But we are going to go ahead and do July prediction readings for Capricorn now. So this is intended for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, or those that have strong Capricorn placements. This is a July predictions reading. Here's what we're covering. After I finish doing Capricorn and Aries today, I'm going to update the description box with some of this info. And then either tomorrow or the day after that, I'll be doing the fixed signs. And then after that, we'll be doing mutable. So we're just going by which sign is going to experience a birthday next. So technically it's Cancer, which is why we're doing cardinal signs today. Now, in this predictions reading, I'm going to start your reading by pulling a tarot card from the Telezma Tarot, which will give us an overall theme of what Capricorn can expect for the month of July. And then we're going to pull oracle cards from the Celestial Bodies deck to have a look at the key themes in love, life, and finances. Those are just the general areas of your life. We'll get specific predictions with the Light Seers Tarot deck. So that's what we're covering in today's video. Feel free to set your intentions now. I'm going to go ahead and set my intentions before I start shuffling. Spirit, please tune me into Capricorn's energy. Please help me offer Capricorn the most clear, honest messages for their reading. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, let's get your overall theme. Spirit, what can Capricorn expect for the month of July? What can Capricorn expect for the month of July, please, Spirit? What can Capricorn expect for the month of July? Whoa, can't really shuffle. There we go. Four of Cups reversed. Okay. At the back of the deck is the Tower. Interesting. So we've got some Mars energy here. Your Mars sign could be especially influential in July. Mars in Cancer. I mean, technically there's that cardinal push of having the Sun in Cancer as well. But honestly, you guys seem to be really pushing yourselves in July. There is a strong desire to overcome, and it's not even from a place of success. It feels like survival mode. So it does feel like July is about really pushing yourself, and it does feel like you're meeting some pretty far out expectations here. Like with the Tower, it feels like you're jumping through a lot of hoops. And honestly, Mars and Capricorn, like you guys can go, I'm hearing we could go band for band, so maybe maybe you like drill music, but Mars and Capricorn don't have the best relationship, but if anyone's going to test Mars, it's Capricorn. Like, so I don't know if this is a bad thing. I don't like to read tarot like that, but I do think that July, you're pushing yourself. You're trying to overcome some pretty far out expectations, and with the Four of Cups reversed, you don't want to miss out on anything. So you're really challenging yourself to not only overcome any obstacles or challenges that may arise, but to ultimately make the most out of everything in July. So look, the Four of Cups is saying that your motivation is more emotional. You're motivated towards pushing yourself because you're either trying to provide for yourself or your loved ones, or because you're trying to get some hard stuff out of the way now so that you can enjoy yourself later on, or because you don't want to disappoint yourself and other people who matter to you. So the motivation is heartfelt, it's emotional. It's like you're pushing yourself because you want to make sure within your heart that you're not leaving anyone behind, but you're doing the most. Like for this card to come out, that's a lot. So let's have a look at how that card, the Four of Cups, plays into the other areas of your life. Now, we're going to have a look at your love life first. Spirit, what is happening in love for Capricorn this July month? What is happening in love for Capricorn? We have Chiron. We have the 4th house. Yeah, lots of emotional motivation. Okay, which card am I going to take, Spirit? What is happening in finances? Whoa. Okay, sorry, sweets. I'm going to shuffle that again. What is happening in Capricorn's finances, please, Spirit? Okay, thank you. We have Yod. Oh, wow. So much emotional motivation. At the back of the deck is feminine energy reversed. So interesting. For my Capricorn placements, I do feel like July, you're in a very masculine energy, but you're motivated by your feminine energy. It's like you're forcing yourself to create because you're trying to nurture, you're trying to grow, you're trying to build, but it's happening in such an aggressive way. Like I have to laugh about it because it's a lot. It's just a lot. So look, let's see what happens, hey? But overall, so far, there's a strong feeling here of, it's like you're very, I can't even say ambitious, because you're just burning the candle at both ends, but it's with this intention of creation, of nurturing, of work hard today, catch up on the rest, or you're trying to provide for someone, because there is a feeling here of nurturing in your life with the 4th house. It feels like you're nurturing a child or a loved one, or you're trying to even nurture yourself. We'll see what Tarot tells us, but the main energy in your life overall is one of trying to nest. Like Cancer season is affecting you, sweets. This is strong Cancer energy. Your life feels like it's encouraging you to rest, to nurture yourself, to nurture your loved ones, to be surrounded by people who you feel comfortable with, to the point where you may be spending more time at home and asking people to come over and see you at home, just spending more time around the house, doing things around the house. A lot of focus on your safe space and you feeling comfortable in July. All your free time is either being spent at home or around people who feel like home. You're so comfortable with them. It's like you're in a nest, which means you're going to be spending a lot of your free time recharging, trying to rest, but also just trying to recharge before you have to go. In love, you are healing. With Chiron here, you're having to address some sort of issue that is not new. Chiron talks about the kind of issues that affect us when we're very young, and they kind of keep resurfacing. So when it comes to love in July, there is an issue that you're aware of that's resurfacing. And with this card being upright, you're not only addressing it, but you're identifying it as a part of your journey in July. It's something that's just a part of your love life. It's not an issue. It's just a part of your love life. So we'll see what Tarot has to say about that and what it is. When it comes to finances, which includes your lifestyle, your spending habits, your career, your job, whatever else fits into money. With Yod reversed, you are feeling like you're back against the wall a little bit. This Yod energy prefers to feel more flow. It prefers to kind of bounce off the different energies in its aspect, but when it's reversed, it feels like we're having to deal with things. So this card to me represents a form of karma, and it's either about us being able to work with the challenges, or it's us feeling like the challenges are forcing us to do something. So honestly, I'm keen to get tarot to clarify, because intuitively what I'm feeling is that you're shedding karma in your finances in July. You're finding an easier way to do things so that you're not just, again, burning the candle at both ends, and you're trying to find more sustainable ways of doing things. But in order to do that, it feels like you're having to really push yourself in July. So just double checking with the guidebook real quick. If there's anything here that stands out to you, you're welcome to pause the video and read it all for yourself. But in shadow, the Yod suggests deep ancestral weight that is carried through our lived experience. Cyclic experiences of confusion or feeling out of place may be a difficult expression of the Yod. So it does feel like you're trying to shed that. You're trying to shed this almost subconscious feeling of, I don't belong here. This is so hard and the system is rigged against me, to be able to try to find a creative solution. So let's see what that means. But we're going to start with love, just because that's what I've been doing for all the other signs as well. So I do feel like some of y'all want to know more about your money, but we'll get there. We're going to start with your love life in July. So Chiron energy, your healing. And it's more than healing, because ultimately Chiron is the wounded warrior for a reason. Those wounds stay with us. So what I love about this is you're not denying that with this card upright, Cappy. You're saying to yourself, yeah, there may be baggage, or I may have some things that I carry with me from my childhood, but I'm not going to let those things stand in the way of me being who I know I am, connecting in the way that I know I deserve to connect, and ultimately feeling love in the way that I want to feel love, especially in July. So let's see what's going on here with tarot. What is happening in love for Capricorn spirit in July? Okay, we have the Tower. What is happening in love for Capricorn? We also have the Emperor, and one more card. Thank you, Spirit. We have the Six of Swords. Okay. At the back of the deck is the Queen of Cups. So again, I feel like you're motivated by your heart in July. And when it comes to love, your heart is telling you that you do need to focus on your intuition, on receiving more love, on making sure that you're giving love in the way that you feel is fair. It does feel like this is something that you're exercising on an advanced relationship. Like this isn't a newer relationship. So if you're single, you're maybe just focusing on yourself, because with the Queen of Cups here, you're accepting that it's going to take a level of vulnerability in order to keep your heart open to more love. Like you have to give in order to receive. So you wouldn't just do that for someone that you didn't feel a strong connection with. So I feel like this message is specifically for those that are already dealing with someone in love, or you can apply it to your own self-love journey, is how I would describe it. So as an overall theme, in love, you are really opening your heart up. You are really tapping into another layer of emotional intimacy, and you're really trying to not just connect with yourself, but you're also trying to make sure that you're connected to whoever it is that you're dealing with in love. And this isn't just a new person, because you wouldn't take this kind of risk with someone who doesn't deserve this most evolved version of you. You're only sharing it with someone who is worthy, who deserves that. So we do have an Emperor showing up in the middle here, but what I'm noticing is how we have these two very similar energies where we've got Mars again with the Tower, and now we have Aries with the Emperor. So in your love life, we are seeing a lot of push from you. We're seeing you really trying, and you're really showing up for yourself, but for whoever deserves this level of love and devotion. We're seeing you fight through some triggers. We're seeing you push through challenges in love. And we're also seeing you overcome these challenges by recognizing that you deserve more for yourself. So you're not settling for less. You are confronting something here in love. And while this feels like an inner journey, like an internal process of confronting maybe your own feelings or I don't want to say baggage, but you know, like layers of healing, whoever you're dealing with in love is being impacted by it. So I feel like I need to split you into two groups. If you're in a relationship, what I'm seeing here is you are expecting your person to step up, and in order for them to step up, you have to step up as well. And the way that you're stepping up is by trying to open your heart up, by connecting deeper with yourself. And the way that you're seeing them step up is by creating a safe space for you to be your most vulnerable self. So with the Emperor here, you feel an energy of safety, security, and protection in love. And once again, for my singles, you're creating this for yourself. You're setting some sort of standard of how you should be treated, and you're acknowledging that this standard has come from experience. It's come from the fact that you haven't always been treated this way, but that doesn't mean that you deserve to be treated less than this. This is your new standard of practice. This is how you now deserve to be treated. And so I do think that in July, you can expect someone to really step up here, whether it's yourself or it feels like a lover is stepping up for you. And what we're seeing with the Six of Swords is part of your journey in love does involve you moving forward and being able to protect your peace by leaving certain people behind. So before the end of the month, you're going to be making the decision to move forward and to leave anyone who isn't able to be a part of this new journey where you're being treated in a way where you feel safe, where your feelings are valid, and where you're pushing through your past experiences. Then they're just being left behind. If anyone is just trying to hurt you for the sake of hurting you, or if they're trying to trigger you because they know that that's going to hurt you, they're being left behind. And so I do think that some people fall into this category, even if they're not romantic lovers. I think that for Chiron to be here, this could be impacting family connections. It could be impacting some friendships, but it could also be the start of some really helpful healing conversations. Because before we decide to leave someone behind with the Six of Swords, we do give them the chance to choose for themselves what they're going to do. So some people will be choosing to move forward with you because they will be having these important conversations with you, but other people simply won't. And that's up to you to figure out when to move forward and who to leave behind. But in love, you are standing up for yourself. You're setting a new standard of how you deserve to be treated. And you're also making sure that your heart is at peace with the decisions that you make when you do move forward. Because remember, this is your bottom deck energy. Letting your heart lead, not out of fear, but out of a desire to feel more love. Not because you're afraid of being hurt. You're moving forward because you want to feel more love. And you're moving away from people because you know that they can't give you that love. Not because you're afraid that they'll hurt you, because that's the cycle you're trying to break. You're moving forward because you know that you can feel more love if you move forward. So that's what I'm seeing in love, Capricorn. Very powerful stuff. Let's have a look now at your life in general. We have the 4th house here. So when it comes to life, this is your free time. It's your lifestyle. It's what you do when you're not working, when you're not making time for your love life. It's everything in between. So we'll see what comes out, because it can also include family and friendships. But let's see what comes out. So Spirit, what is happening in life in general for Capricorn in July? We have the Queen of Swords reversed. What is happening? Okay, 6 of Wands reversed. Okay, thank you. The Queen of Cups. Can I fit these in? Maybe. I might have to do what I did for the last group and just the 4 of Cups. No way. Okay, so the 4 of Cups is definitely a prominent energy in your July month. When it comes to life, look, you're only one person. You feel like you're not doing enough for some reason. You're being very hard on yourself in July, because when you're not hustling, you're literally just resting with this 4th house energy. You're just resting, you're healing, you're recharging, and you're trying to be very careful and selective about what you say yes to, about who you invite over, about what social commitments you make, because you need to prioritize your rest. Your lifestyle may be a bit slower. In fact, you may even cancel plans with people in July. You may have said you would do something and it comes around and you're like, I physically can't. So there is this feeling of you're missing out. But I also think that it's important for you to recharge in July. It's important for you to just focus on how limited your capacity is. Like, you're doing the most. And maybe this energy is mostly in your work, but we saw in love that your energy is doing a lot. Like, you're purging a lot. Your energy is very stretched thin, is how I would describe it. So looking at your other tarot cards, we do have 3 queens here. We've got a Queen of Wands at the back of the deck, Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups. All of them are reversed. And that aligns with our feminine energy being reversed. Life in July for you is about recognizing how limited your capacity is, emotionally, energetically, and especially mentally. Like, you're just very stretched thin. And with the Queen of Swords here, it may be hard for you to be able to see the bigger picture in July. You're literally just trying to put one foot in front of the other. You're trying to get through the day. You're trying to get through this big moment or this week. And your brain is overloaded. It's like you're learning a lot of stuff as well. So something could be starting in July that has your brain feeling very overloaded, very much, I want to say overworked, but it's like you can't be as attentive and present in certain conversations as you usually are, because your mind is just very specifically focused on things. And so when the Queen of Swords is reversed, it sometimes feels like tunnel vision. So in July, when it comes to life, it could feel like your vision and your ability to mentally absorb things is very tunnel visioned. So with the 6 of Wands, this does feel like you isolating, you hiding a little bit, and it also feels like you're not interacting with your usual crowd of people to the point where your absence is noted and it's felt. I think that there are some people who've gotten very accustomed to expecting you to show up in a certain way and to seeing you show up in a certain way. It was very gratifying and validating. And they're noticing that you're more withdrawn, you're more quiet, you're more introverted in the month of July. You're also just keeping a low profile. So maybe these people are noticing that on social media in general or in public spaces. Like you're just not as available and accessible. However, for you, Capricorn, with the Six of Wands reversed, you may be feeling like people just aren't understanding you well. They're not taking time to see where you're coming from. They're not recognizing how you're burnt out and how you need more support from them. You may be feeling like your responsibilities and obligations to other people are just too much. And in July, it could feel like, socially speaking, other people's expectations towards you are very unfair and unrealistic. And it just feels like you could be feeling like people are getting upset with you for little things, where it's like, obviously, I just wasn't having a good day. And so this is how you may continue to get that reputation of being moody, because people are expecting you to do one thing, whereas you just don't have the capacity. And instead of recognizing that, they're just going, oh yeah, Capricorn's just, on their thing where they just, them. So it's actually very isolating. It makes your social circle even smaller, more selective. And it also feels like with the Queen of Cups, a lot of misunderstandings. People aren't seeing how burnt out you are, but also with the Queen of Cups reversed, you're feeling like people are confirming what you're already kind of processing in your love life, right? So we see the Queen of Cups in your life now, which means that your friends and family are a part of this cycle in love where you are trying to, I want to say, set better standards for yourself. And while you're trying to take accountability for how you feel, you're also acknowledging how some people just expect too much from you. They almost expect you not to feel. And so when you are feeling something, and especially when you're not feeling like your usual self, you're the one that's made to feel guilty for it, which is not good enough. So there is a pattern here, and you're noticing it in your platonic relationships as well as in your romantic history. And it's impacting how available you want to be in life in July. You really just want to curl up with your most safe people. You don't want to wear a mask. You don't want to pretend to be happy. You don't want to pretend to be anything except how you feel in that moment. And for some reason, there are some people in your life who make you feel guilty for that when you try to take off your mask and just be yourself. And so that's something that is bothering you in July. But it's about trying to figure out, well, do I address it now? Or do I just focus on myself and figure it out later? Really depends. I think that you're less likely to address it when it comes to friends and family. You're more likely to address it if it comes to a lover. So that's what I'm seeing in your life. Let's close your reading now by looking at your finances. Okay, so we have Yod here, which was saying that you are feeling like you have your back against the wall with your money, and like you're having to really work smarter, not harder, or come up with some sort of creative solution. What is happening here with Yod for Capricorn spirit? We have Tower reversed. Whoa. The Tower card is just so strong in your reading. It's come up 3 times now in 3 separate segments of your reading. Wow, okay. Let me just sit with this for a little bit. We've got the 3 of Wands at the back of the deck. I might put it down here if it can fit. How does that look on camera? Okay. So, yeah, look. I think that when it comes to money, as a Capricorn, you're going to take it seriously. And it's important that in July, you do keep your vision on the long term. We're seeing 2 cards upright that talk about long term, and the other 2 cards that are reversed are very temporary energies. So in July, it is likely that things will pop up that seem really stressful at the time, really attention grabbing at the time, but they're temporary. When it comes to your money, keep your eyes set on the future. Keep your stamina, is what Spirit's saying. So it's very important with all of this Tower energy that's come into your reading that you don't let it impact your finances to the point where it impacts your ability to expand on your Ten of Pentacles. And if you're not familiar with the Ten of Pentacles, that is the energy of legacy. In your finances, it represents having enough money to not only take care of your own retirement, but to set up the next generation. It's big money. So in your reading, whatever happens in July emotionally, whatever happens in July in terms of your family, in terms of whatever other responsibilities you have, don't let it impact your ability to provide for yourself, to take care of your own future, and to maintain stability for this bigger picture, whether you're trying to set yourself up for a really comfortable retirement or whether you're trying to create some sort of trust fund for the next generation. It is possible, and that's where a lot of your energy is going towards. But that's only because you don't have a lot of energy in July. In July, your emotions are all over the place. Your energy feels like it's all over the place. So some mornings you wake up just not feeling rested and recharged. Other mornings it may feel like you just can't slow down. And there's going to be at least a week there where it's just non-stop for you for some reason. And so your money, your financial stability is like your way of keeping yourself going, is what we're seeing here. And so it's really important in July that you do set new goals for the short-term future. Think about financial goals that you want to achieve before December as a way of staying motivated with the Three of Wands, but also as a way of making sure that you don't let these temporary issues distract you from your overall purpose. July is the month where you really secure your sense of career and your sense of purpose when it comes to finances. And this is all about big picture. This is how you overcome this feeling of being forced to do something you don't want to do in your finances. And this is also how you find solutions to these temporary challenges. So with the Tower card reversed, I do see you finding more stability when it comes to your finances in July. And usually that comes through consistency. It's not just once off trying to put effort into something. It's about really trying to cement a clear foundation for the Tower to build on. And that's how we start rebuilding. With this Page of Wands here, this is a temporary feeling of creative distractions. You've got to be a little bit careful in July about pursuing ideas that just aren't going to be a part of this long-term plan. But you also have to know when to lock in and focus instead of procrastinating with the Page of Wands. So it goes both ways. Either you're putting things off until you have more energy, or you're getting distracted by these ideas that just don't fit into the tangible plan. Sorry for hitting the microphone. And so when it comes to money in July, this is your way of grounding yourself, of almost getting yourself back on track because your emotional being is feeling really challenged. Outside of work, you just don't have energy to do anything. And so work is the one place where you have a strong sense of purpose. To stay on track, make sure you set that goal for yourself before December. What do you want to achieve? How does that fit into the bigger picture? And how does that align with some of your creative ideas? Are there ideas that you should not give your energy to because they're not going to be a part of this goal? Or are there ideas that you need to start backing with actions because they are a part of this goal? So I hope that that makes sense, but you are rebuilding your sense of stability, and you're also rebuilding a sense of purpose here when it comes to your finances, whether that's about just focusing on your career or using that financial goal as a long-term motivation to get through the rest of this year and to contribute to that overall picture. That is what I'm seeing for you, Capricorn, when it comes to July. I hope that was a helpful reading. Definitely a lot of messages. Look after yourself in July. I'm going to end your reading here. You may have messages in your other signs. Otherwise, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Until we meet again, bye.